feelings and experiences. Sometimes I might feel the embodiment of power. Sometimes a feeling of the full bloom of self-respect. I step back into my own value. Sometimes I might feel completely loved, absolutely loved. I find when Baba loves me, my mind almost stops. That's all you need. All you need is Baba's love. That's to feel completely content and satisfied in life. So how much am I really experiencing? Because remembrance is the heart and soul of this life, to prepare myself to have this quality of connection. And you know, sometimes when I reflect, because I think in Brahman life, we need to ask my heart honestly, really honestly, not deceiving myself. And sometimes I ask myself, why did I come to Baba? Why am I a Brahmin? And the answer is to transform myself and become pure. Why am I still a Brahmin? It's the same answer, to transform myself and become pure. What is the method? And sometimes I think the one soul who's eternally uninfluenced, the soul who retains eternal truth. There's only one soul, Shiv Baba. What is his advice? The highest advice from the highest soul. Remembrance, 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 remembrance. Have you ever heard a Murli where Baba doesn't say, remember me? Has anyone ever heard one? I haven't. And it's like we absorb the ocean of knowledge for one thing, to keep my intellect with one as I go about my life, as I do everything. And I've come to a point in my Brahman life where I like everything natural. Personally, I feel if I'm forcing myself to come to the center, to sit in meditation, pressuring myself, pushing myself, I'm still doing bhakti. They're bhakti sanskaras. The method of Raj Yoga is love. And I feel the most natural thing for each one of us is to fall in love. No one has to teach me how to fall in love. And when I fall in love with Shiv Baba, and I understand that out of 8 billion souls, there's no soul like Baba. There's no soul more benevolent and sweet and understanding or lovable. Baba has to be lovable. When I naturally fall in love, I will naturally remember. You don't have to think I should remember, I must remember. You know, that sort of language. I naturally remember. And when I naturally remember, I will naturally transform. If I'm remembering the one who's incorporeal, egoless, and viceless, what do I become? I naturally become that. And when I naturally transform, I will naturally serve. Like Baba said today, your face and everything will naturally uplift people. And I really feel the true Raj Yoga is all the seed of it is to absolutely fall in love with Shiv Baba. To me, Brahma Baba had 5 children, had a huge business, highly regarded. Shiv Baba came along and he just was swept off his feet. You know, absolutely swept off his feet in love. He just let everything go. And then the daddies, you know, seeing Brahma Baba, they just also, you know, they lived with Shiv Baba and Brahma Baba for 14 years. And that love, Baba just filled them with so much love, he pulled them beyond. To me, the real method that works. So it's not just I'm a devotee soul that turns up for Murli and I just listen, and I really so fall so deeply in love with Baba that I remember Baba naturally. And as I just do that, almost automatically, my sanskaras change, my karmic accounts settle. It's a natural byproduct when I do that. And during COVID, I experimented on remembrance because I honestly felt I've been a Brahmin for over 45 years. I hadn't really done the work of remembrance. And I began to observe that when I remember, three things happen. And there's like a subtle thread of your intellect. Your intellect is always traveling. Even now, as you sit in this room, I'm talking, but your intellect flies home. What are the children doing? It flies to Madhavan, you know, how your intellect, you know, it's an incredible bit of spiritual anatomy. It keeps flying all over the place. And first, I connect. This is remembrance, like, because what is the most natural thing? Because Baba actually doesn't say children sit and meditate. Does he ever say sit and meditate? No. He says remember. Why? Because remembering is natural. It's always going on, remembering what I have to do, you know, what I just did, what you said, what I said. We are always remembering. And all Baba's saying, just redirect that natural habit of remembering. And when I remember three things, first, I connect. Whatever the subtle thread of your intellect connects with will influence you. And whatever influences, you get a feeling, an experience inside. So if you're sitting here now and you remember a family member who's not here, so your intellect travels, connects with them, instant. You have a loving relationship, you're close. The instant you remember, you're influenced by that love, you feel calm and peaceful. But if you're sitting here right at this second and you remember a family member you're in conflict with, you're not getting on well, there's differences, there's problems, the instant you travel and connect, just that thought connection, you start to feel that conflict. You feel a bit upset, hurt, disturbed. And so your mind is in upheaval. And so sometimes I have the image during the day, I plug into this, I remember this. And depending on this, I fluctuate. I plug in here, I plug in there, I plug in there. I keep remembering, I'm influenced. So my stage is going up and down, up and down. This is why Baba says, children, live in this world, live in your family, go to the workplace, but keep the subtle thread with Shiv Baba. So that as I go around, Baba's influencing me. I'm under the canopy of God. That's really, and I can only remember when I'm in love. If I'm really like Baba's my lover, then I will. I want to. It's a natural thing. It's not that I think, oh, I should be remembering. I'm in love, so I naturally go there. We all know when you fall in love, that's where your intellect goes. And when I remember Baba, then I'm influenced by Baba, and that's when I have the highest spiritual experiences, even as I go about my life and my daily work and so on. And so sometimes, when I began to think about all this during COVID, I would sit at Amrit Vela with this pure thought to remember Shiv Baba. Such a pure thought. And sometimes in 3 seconds, the intellect's traveled somewhere. I think you know what I mean. Sometimes 1 second. And it's not even to bad things. It's not even to negative things. But I began to realize that the culture for half a cycle of body consciousness is peace, love, and happiness is out there. And that's why when you sit to meditate, your mind runs out, your mind runs out. It's such a habit. And to have this sort of self-awareness that peace, love, and happiness is with Baba. You know, and that's why I really began to respect Brahma Baba so much. The attention he paid to himself, this incredible attention. As the intellect jumped, he would bring it back and remember, bring it back and remember. And this is our life, really, in this way. And I began to really watch the subtle thread of the intellect. This is ultimately our spiritual life, paying attention. What do I remember? Just paying attention. Because you know what happens when I remember Shiv Baba, I have the subtle thread is connected. I live stream Baba's vibrations into the sacred space of my mind. And it's almost like my laboratory of my mind is full of Baba's love, Baba's belonging, Baba's purity, Baba's feelings. And that vibration sustains me. It sustains the atmosphere around me, and it sustains the people I love. You know, so many people come and say, oh, my daughter's struggling, my son is not happy, my family members, this is happening, that's happening, what can I do? And honestly, the more I remember Baba, and my mind is full of these high vibrations, I create an atmosphere that will sustain the people close to me. But if I'm remembering bodily beings, if I'm connected to bodily beings, then what happens is that my subtle thread is connected there, a low vibration inside. Or if I remember me and my mistakes and my weaknesses, the lowest vibration. And I often feel if I'm not happy, if I don't feel happy, there's only one question to ask myself. What have I been remembering? What have I plugged the subtle thread in? Sometimes people say, I don't know why I'm unhappy. I keep dwelling on someone's bad behavior. I'm constantly thinking about what they said and did. I'm really unhappy about them. I'm nonstop remembering their bad behavior. And then I ask myself, why am I not happy? It's obvious why I'm not happy, because I'm remembering the wrong things. And so the laws of remembrance, the first law says, pay attention to what I remember. Pay attention to what I remember. The second law says, whatever I remember will influence me. And the third law says, whatever influences me, that's the experience. So if I'm not experiencing much, or I'm experiencing peacelessness or anxiety, it's because my subtle thread is still stuck in this old world. And I'm influenced by those feelings and those thoughts. And so when I remember Baba, this is really at the heart of our life. I sit, the subtle thread connects with Baba. I live stream Baba into my mind. Baba fills my mind, my whole mind, with those elevated feelings. And this is the real service. Your mind, the Mansa Seva, your mind just spreads this perfume. It spreads a perfume into the atmosphere. And everyone who comes in touch with that perfume feels absolutely uplifted. And once Baba was meeting Daddy Nirmala Shanta, Who has met Daddy Nirmala Shanta? Can I say? Daddy Nirmala Shanta was Baba's Lokik daughter. She's so sweet. She's so sweet. And Baba was meeting her, and Baba said, gave her drishti actually. And Baba said, "You're busy, aren't you?" She said, "Yes, Baba, I'm busy." Then Baba gave her more drishti for a few minutes. And Baba said, "You're very busy, aren't you?" She said, "Yes, Baba." And then Baba said, "Many drops make an ocean." And what Baba was meaning, drops of remembrance make an ocean. And so Baba began to give her practical advice, because Baba said, when you finish a meeting and walk down the passage, remember Baba. When you go to get a drink of water, remember Baba. You know, when you go into the kitchen, remember Baba. So all those moments, if you collect the drops, it actually makes an ocean. And so I began to practice that. I began to really try to collect the drops. And what I observed in myself is, you know how you meet somebody, you talk to them, as you walk away, you process what they said. You know, you analyze or you think. And yet at that time, if I go to Baba, you know, keep going to Baba, making a habit of remembrance. Because actually we say we're busy, but mentally we're free all the time. Because the fundamental subject is remembrance. And the more the subtle thread is connected with Baba, I will have new spiritual feelings every day. New feelings like perfumes waving, you know, washing through my mind. And you feel so sustained, completely sustained in a natural way. And so what I began to do was, you know, sometimes have you had the experience, you come to the Murli, Baba says, "Children, remember me." Say, "Yes, Baba." And then I go to work, and at lunchtime I said, "Oh, I've hardly remembered Baba." You know how life is, we get busy. So I decided to break it into little chunks. So when the Murli finishes, between then and I have my breakfast, how much did I remember Baba? During breakfast, how much did I remember Baba? As I change to go to work, how much did I remember Baba? As I catch a train or a bus to work, how much did I remember Baba? You know, break it up, little challenges, and you actually start to increase the amount of remembrance. And the more you increase the natural, loving relationship with the lover of the soul, new experiences, new feelings. And then you feel sustained. You know, you are naturally sustained. You don't need any teacher. You don't need anything. Because I think one of the things of this time is that all the supports are going. We used to go to Madhaban to meet Baba. We can't anymore. We used to go to Madhaban to meet the daddies. There's only one left, and she's 100 next month. All the supports within Brahman life are going. It's good, actually, because Baba has to become the one support. All the supports are going. And ultimately, this life is to take support from one, remember one. And that's when really I start to feel this natural sustenance inside. So I've been rambling on for a long time. You've been patiently listening. So we'll have a little bit of questions and answers for the next half hour or so. And I don't know whether we have some questions. And if you want to ask a question, you're welcome to come. So we just have some family chit chat. Oh, she's got a list of questions.
Om Shanti, brother. Very good morning. So, the first question, to any special experience which made you such a strong Brahmin, you want to share?
Any special experience? You know, when I was maybe 2 weeks in Gyan, I was just a little baby. And I was thinking very deeply. One day I was actually at the center. The center in London, I was saying the other day, was tiny. But 3 sisters living in the center, Daddy Janki, Sister Janti, Didi Sadesh. Very powerful center. And I did the course. Sudesh Didi gave me the course. I was her first course in English. And I was thinking about Shiv Baba. And it was almost like there was a pause button on time. I felt completely loved. It was almost like the ocean of love just washed all over me and went into the core of my being. And I can remember that feeling even now, that my thought was, I've come home and this is where I belong. And just 2 months later, I'd only been going to the Muli for 2 months. I was sharing this somewhere recently, and Daddy Janki said to me, you should go to Madhaban to meet Baba. I was just 2 months in Gyan. And I think because I was only 22, I think she thought, get him to Madhaban before he runs away somewhere, if he runs. Anyway, I went to Madhaban, and in those days, Baba would come every second night. So I was in Madhaban 6 weeks. I think Baba came 15 times or more. And I met Baba so many times, but my first meeting, I sat in front of Baba, spoke the Muli. It was in the history hall. Half the number of people here, maybe 50, 60 people in the history hall in Pandava Bhavan. And when the Muli finished, I came and sat in front of Baba, and Baba gave me drishti. And it was like Baba's drishti was like a laser beam that went right deep into the soul, scanned all the soul. But I felt it was like Baba's drishti fell on a part of me that had gone to sleep. The elevated me, the pure me, the deity me, whatever you call it. And it's like Baba honed in on that and massaged that to the surface and introduced me to who I really was. And that night, something changed in me. It's like he gave me the gift of self-respect. He sort of showed me who I really was. And I can remember thinking that, when I'd sit in front of Baba and speak, Baba sees you up here. And I would see myself down here, And in a way, this life is stepping out of the attachment to the identity I have now and stepping into Baba's vision. This is this life. Because Baba sees each one in this room as such an elevated being, but we're so stuck in the present. And so that made me so much stronger. The more I feel Baba's given me the gift of self-respect, I felt more and more stable and strong. And I always remember once Baba said, to the extent you have self-respect, you can respect everyone. To the extent you have self-respect, you will be humble. To the extent you have self-respect, you will be loving and everyone will love you. And to the extent you have self-respect, life becomes easy. And honestly, I think when we lack self-respect, life is a battle. I keep battling every day with myself, with people, with situations. But when I take the gift back I don't know, life just becomes easier.
Self-respect is most important.
I think it's one of the most important things. Yeah.
And brother, you have received sustenance, especially from Daddy Janaki and many daddies. Could you please share your special experience and learning from our daddies?
How long do we have? Can we stay here till 6 p.m. tonight?
Some few special.
You know, when I was living in London, because there were so few students, he was invited for talks and things. And London had a little Morris Minor. This is in 1970s. Was a British car, little green Morris Minor. Genty Ben would drive the car and Daddy would sit in the front seat. We'd sit in the back seat. And the whole way, you know, Daddy Janky, she's always dot, 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 doesn't stop talking knowledge, knowledge, knowledge. So Genty Ben's driving and translating. And, you know, so many experiences with Daddy Janky of her love to make others even higher than herself in a way. She had such this pure feeling to serve and give. And I was lucky. I remember once I was living in a little flat opposite the center with another brother. And one night at 10 p.m. I'd gone to sleep. I heard knock, knock, knock on the door. I kept sleeping. Knock, 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 knock. And I went to the door and there was Daddy. And she had a Jesuit priest with her, a Christian Jesuit priest. And this priest had come from Germany, because he'd heard that the Brahma Kumaris help you link with God. And he wanted to learn. And so Daddy had spent all afternoon talking to him. And he then missed his bus. So Daddy wanted him to come and stay with us. But when I opened the door, Daddy's face was sparkling. I could just see she was so happy that this soul from another branch of the tree had come, and she was trying to connect him to God. Yeah. It was really so sweet. You know, once I went on a tour of South India with Daddy Prakashmani. And, you know, if you go from a train from Ahmedabad to Bangalore, in those days, it was 1.5 days. And we were with Daddy in the train, and she read us the Muli in English. And, but I remember we went to one center and the family gave her coconuts full of money, coins. So they'd saved money for Baba's yagya. They'd made them into like money boxes, made a little thing in the coconut. And they were all full. And so they all came up, a whole lot of them gave Daddy coconuts full of rupee coins. And you know what Daddy did? She got the coconut and smashed it. Money went everywhere. There's 20 coconuts, money went everywhere. And then she said to everyone in the room, you collect some coins and put it in Baba's box. So she wanted every single person to create their fortune. This was Daddy. She was so inclusive. She was just so incredibly humble and inclusive in every way. And once I was telling this somewhere too, that we were sitting in front of Bap Dada and it was the end of the night and the Borg was being fed, you know, when you feed Baba's Borg. And this was in the history hall. And Daddy Ji said to me, I was very new, she said, Charlie, say something to Baba. And I don't speak Hindi. So Daddy began to say in Hindi and I copied her like a parrot. And so Daddy said in Hindi, Baba, I love you. So I copied it. And then she said, you know, Baba, I've searched for you for so long, and I just copied it. And then she said something, and I just copied, and everyone laughed, even Baba. Baba was laughing a lot. And she said in Hindi, Baba, I'm a monkey. And so I looked in Baba's eyes, said, Baba, I'm a monkey. I don't know whether any other Brahmin has done that. And what I learned is there's a lot of fun. You know, the daddies, sometimes so yogi, sometimes like children having
Fun.
so much fun. And I remember, you know, just with Didi Manmohini too. Didi was the most amazing yogi. And but she was like the same, lots of fun. And once we had a Brahma Bhojan, and you've seen pictures, you know how Brahma Baba would sit and on the floor, and everyone would sit in lines, and they'd be in silence, and they'd serve food, and you'd eat in remembrance. Didi and Didi were in the front, and we'd had Brahma Bhojan, and then they served ice cream to everybody. And everyone's very quiet and silent. And then Didi Ji, when she got her ice cream, she poured it all over Daddy Ji. Then Daddy Ji got her ice cream and poured it all over Daddy Ji. And before you knew it, ice cream was everywhere. But I loved it. I just thought, you know, in a lot of organizations, the leaders are very, I'm the leader, I'm in charge, you know. But they were like children when they played the part as Baba's instruments, and when they didn't have, they were just like children, so fun, so sweet.
Sweet funs.
Sweet fun, lots, like so many stories of fun. I once went to Disneyland in America with Daddy Ji. She was on a tour of America and I was there too, and we went a whole day in Disneyland with Daddy Prakashmani. Daddy Ji was, I just saw, she held the whole yajna in her attitude. Her attitude was full of love and respect for every single soul. And I've never seen a leader like her, because when the leader holds, to me, that's the main part of an instrument soul, to hold that good feelings for everybody. And that her spiritual power of love and good wishes for everyone kept the whole organization together.
Yeah, we also feel so belongingness towards Daddy,
Yeah.
even though we don't have such close these things. So it's still we remember our sweet Daddy Prakashmani. So we are so fortunate to have Brother Charlie with us. He has so many experience. The brother said can share till night. So much of experience. Our next question is, brother, sometimes Brahmins are unhappy with themselves or with the Brahmin family or the center instruments, even though they have the knowledge of drama. So how to develop a healthy relationship with trauma to overcome this type of unhappy mental state?
You know, I think it's the same thing as I was mentioning. If I have an unhappy relationship with me, there's a lack of self-respect. Every single one of us steps into Brahman life with some lack of self-respect. But if it doesn't change, then if I can't respect me, I can't respect others. I can't respect the Brahman family. And inside my head, it's all real. My feelings, I feel, are real. We don't realize the first relationship in life is so unhealthy. And in a way, I feel, why have we got this mad world? Look at how crazy the world is. How crazy is our world now? Why? There's 8 billion souls with an unhealthy relationship with themselves. So that flows into family, flows into work, flows into governments, everything. And that's why some of Baba's children, because and that's why I was saying before that it's my duty to step into Baba's vision. Baba sees me as an angel, a deity, an elevated soul. If I've been a Brahmin for so many years and I still see myself down here, sometimes I think, have I recognized who's teaching me? It's my duty to step up into Baba's vision because, you know, my relationship with drama is also, it's so important. You know, once Baba met the double foreigners and Baba said, you need 3 tilaks, and Baba got his finger. The first is the tilak of the self, and Baba went, boop. The second is the tilak of Baba, and Baba went, boop. The third is the tilak of drama, and sometimes it goes here. Baba, this was Baba. He went like this. And it's true, actually, that, you know, drama, I feel drama's like a moody person. If you live with a person whose mood is always changing, you never know they're going to wake up happy, unhappy, angry. And that's drama. We never know the outcomes of drama. And in a way, we have a loving relationship with Baba. We need a loving relationship with myself, and we need a loving relationship with drama as well. And you can only have a loving relationship with drama when I'm a detached observer. And I would say at this point in the cycle, probably the most important thing is to be a detached observer. So much is going to happen out there. We haven't even seen anything yet. It's just going to get so unstable. And if I'm not detached, it's all going to affect me and disturb me. I remember once Baba said, if you don't become detached now, you'll have to become detached by compulsion. Drama's going to force me.
Force
You know,
us.
yeah. And you know, sometimes some children, some of Baba's children say, oh, that was such a good scene of drama, service went so well. Or something goes wrong, or that was a bad scene. That's actual body consciousness. Drama is perfect. Every scene, it's not good or bad, it is what it is. It's eternal. And in a way, you know, all drama does is trigger what's inside me. You know, I can't change the drama, but I can change my reaction to the drama. And that's really what a detached observer is. It's almost like I have to sit the point and watch this play through my eyes. And the more I'm detached from my body, the more I will automatically be detached from the influence of people, opinions, behaviors, situations, everything. And really, it's so important to practice this now, because really the world will, as I say, so many scenes will happen that we could never imagine. We can never imagine.
So it's very important to practice detachment.
It is, but Baba's detachment.
Baba's, according to, Baba's.
Because Baba's detachment is to be very loving, very caring, very close, very kind, but uninfluenced. And if detachment is a bit, you know, removed and non-caring, that's not Baba's detachment.
Correct it. A spiritual detachment.
Really, you know, once Baba said, to be truly loving, you have to be detached. Because when you're detached, you can love someone in a good mood, but you can love them when their mood is not so good. If you're attached, when their mood is no good, you're very influenced, very affected. The law says the more attachment, the more people affect you. So that's why our family members, sometimes they affect us so deeply because of my attachment to them. The law says the more I'm attached, the more I'm affected by that person. That's the spiritual law.
Thank you so much, brother. And the next questions from a Baba's child. I have got a direction from Baba's instrument and done an action accordingly. but it was a failure. I am suffering for more than 2 years. 2 years. I have been suffering for more than 2 years for that. So we want to know why the Baba's direction become failure.
It's a hard question to answer unless you have the details, to be honest, of the situation, because whoever they were, they did the right thing in good faith to follow a direction. But sometimes, things don't work. It's true. But we've got to actually put a full stop and move on. That's what I find, because sometimes we get stuck. It's true. It happens, even in the Brahmin family. Someone disrespects me, someone doesn't cooperate with me, someone may be rude to me. That can happen. It's life. But if we hold on to all these things, that's my weakness. We've all got to put a full stop. If we can talk to the person, if we can resolve it, it's good. We should. But if we can't, we've got to resolve it in my head. This is drama. The understanding, it's a deep intellect understands that all of us here we're the old souls, right? We're 84 birth souls. We all have a lot of karmic accounts with ourselves and with others. And what is this time? It's the time of settlement. And all of us now are settling accounts of our health. Is there anyone in this room who has perfect health? Can I see? Perfect health.
Perfect health.
No problem.
Anyone have perfect health? Perfect health.
2. Wow.
Your body is perfect? No. Still you also suffer from something, no? Time to time.
But what I'm meaning is everyone has some health problem, some issues in the family, some issues with wealth. It's life today. We've got to, if I'm a Brahmin and I'm always worrying about these things, I haven't understood Gyan. It's the end of the cycle. All of these things will happen. The more I create a foundation of spirituality with Baba, these things won't worry me. And we have to become so strong in that way.
Okay. The next question, brother. When a soul experiences obstacles from their Lokik family or from center instrument, what is the role of the other Brahmins towards that situation? When a soul coming to center experience some obstacles from their own Lokik family or from a center instrument. So other Brahmins seeing that obstacles, sometimes they are influenced by these things. So actual role of the other Brahmins towards that Brahmin soul.
I'm not sure what the question is totally looking for, but I would say good wishes, good wishes, good wishes. This life, sorry?
Only good wishes we have to give.
We do, because, good wishes, the great way of supporting each other. The way we support each other is through our drishti. If I give love and I have good wishes, that's the greatest support, because this will happen. There will be upheaval in our families because our main karmic accounts are with the family of this body. And that's why we're born in that family. And so most of us, not all, but a lot of us will face massive challenges in the family. And secondly, sometimes even in this Brahmin family, it doesn't mean the Brahmin family is bad, but some individuals we have karmic accounts with. But the thing is, what I feel is, ask my heart the question, am I increasing my account? Am I sustaining my account, or am I settling my account? So if something happens in the Lokik family or the Brahmin family, I think, all the time thinking, and then I start to speak and gossip, I would say I'm increasing my karmic account. If something happens and I think, even in meditation, I'm thinking, oh, that's happened, why, no, going on and on, I would say I'm sustaining my karmic debt. But if something happens and I look through the truth of God's knowledge, that of the law of karma, of the law of drama, of the role of the soul, the part of that soul, these souls, I am settling my account. And if I think too much about things, I'm increasing my karmic account. And this is where I often feel there's either emotion or knowledge. The habit of devotion, the habit of body consciousness, something happens, I get very emotional, upset, hurt, rejected, unloved. And yet, if I'm Gyani, I look through the filter of God's truth and I understand and I say, okay, I put the full stop and I move on. I don't keep sustaining that unhappiness and sorrow every day, thinking, they said this, they said this, they said this. This is my weakness. The other soul is an instrument to reveal to me my weakness. And if I just say, for me, relationships, to me, all relationships do is trigger what's already in me. Other souls are messengers or instruments to show me my sanskaras. So when I come in front of somebody, their face, their vibrations, their words, their behavior trigger feelings. The one with knowledge looks at the self. The one with no knowledge looks at others, starts the blame game. But if I have truth and knowledge, it's my feeling. They're just an instrument. They may have behaved badly, but if I choose to be hurt, that's me. And until I get that really deeply, no one can hurt me, but I can use you to hurt myself. If we base our life on truth, we can free ourselves. But if we just keep getting emotional, blaming, feeling hurt, I'm no different from a body conscious person.
Yeah, true, brother.
Blame is the ultimate ignorance. Blame means I've moved right out of truth and I'm under the influence of falsehood. Only victims blame. And if I understand the law of karma, I will never blame. And if I find myself blaming, it's like saying, I haven't understood the law of karma. I haven't really understood the deep law of karma.
Thank you, brother. So question is, your advice to experience a very deep yoga. What tips to experience very deep yoga?
Well, I hope that's what we were talking about for the first
12 o'clock.
1 hour of that.
12 o'clock.
But love. Love is the question, is the main thing. Just absolutely make Shiv Baba your beloved. Fall in love with Baba. You can only love someone who's lovable. So I've got to really learn how no one will love me like Baba. Nobody can love me like Baba. And that's when I really understand how sweet Baba is, how innocent Baba is, how attractive Baba is. No one is as sweet. And when my heart, sometimes I think my head recognizes God's a point, God's the ocean of this, he lives in Paramount. But when my heart recognizes, that's when yoga becomes powerful. I understand the beauty of Baba.
Recognizing from the heart.
Love is the great power to make, you know, there's a law that says where the heart goes, the mind will follow. It's natural concentration. If your heart's in love, you don't have to try to remember. You will naturally remember. It's a natural focus or concentration.
Thank you. This is some personal question from a person. So I gave some money to a person on a legal document.
Sorry?
He gave some money to a person on a legal document, with legal document, some personal question someone asked.
I couldn't understand that. Which
That
document?
person has gave some money to another person on a legal basis, but still he didn't
Oh,
get
legal basis.
legal
Sorry.
basis. But he didn't get the money back as that person promised. He didn't give it back. So whether it's my karmic accounts or whether I can file a case. That is.
It's definitely your karmic account. Everything is karma. Everything is karma. There's some debt. This happens so many times. There's a law, an unwritten law in the Brahmin family, never lend money to another BK. Don't do that. Because if something happens like this, then it ruins your relationship. But it depends how much and the financial state, if you need to file a case. But honestly, sometimes these days, all the money you lent will be used up by the lawyer.
Lawyer. Legal. If it's a legal basis, he can go, if he can.
Yeah. You know, there was one brother who I started Gyan with. He's an Australian brother, and he went to help in service in America. And he was in a center, and he to make income, he had a jewelry business. This is in Texas. And he used to go to the markets, and he built up a lot, quite a lot of jewelry. And one day he finished the market, he went to his home, he stopped his car, and he said he had about 150,000 US dollars of jewelry. And he just stopped his car and looked, and there was a man with a gun. And the man said, "Give me your jewelry." And he gave him the jewelry. You know, he said, instantly, I just felt that's a karmic account finished. Like, he said it was such a deep experience that some debt's been settled, move on. He said, I didn't have much waste thought.
Yeah, so
Because, yeah.
that is Gyani soul, accept.
You know, things will happen at this time. You know, there was one other brother I met when I was in London, and he used to live in Uganda in Africa. And if some of you will remember, there was a dictator there called Idi Amin. Do you remember Idi?
Yeah. Idi Amin.
Idi Amin, this man was a multi-millionaire. And one day Idi Amin's soldiers came to all of the Indian population living in Uganda and marched them to the border. And he said, I couldn't take any money. I had $10 in my pocket. And he got to London. He was just depressed for a year. And then someone said, go to the Brahma Kumaris. So he went and did the course and became a BK. And he said in his own words, if I was in Uganda and I had my $10 million, I would have never gone near the Brahma Kumaris. I had to lose $10 million to come to Baba. Sometimes, you know, and also I really believe there's benefit in everything. Some of these scenes, there's some hidden benefit underneath.
Hidden benefit in everything. So.
As he said, I wouldn't have come to Baba if I was really proud of my wealth and my business, and I would never have gone near the Brahma Kumaris.
So this is invaluable income.
Absolutely, yeah.
The last question, brother, what is your special effort during these days towards your perfection? What's your special effort for?
Well, these days, I suppose the highest aim I love in this life is to be an angel.
To be an angel.
But two things on that way: to remain light, whatever happens, a bit like Baba said this morning, remain smiling and cool, because it's a drama. We're at the end of the cycle. All the unfinished business will come out. So just remain
silent, light. So you can see how brother.
Sorry, I was just our traffic control just came in the form of a train. Just light, and to genuinely feel I'm just an instrument. It's Baba. Everything is Baba, you know, and I just think when I really just don't intellectually know that, I think it's very easy to say, oh, Baba's doing everything. We say it like a devotee, but to really feel It's Baba's work, makes you so free, so light. And I just feel that this time, when you remain light, you can progress spiritually. If you get heavy, worrying about the center, worrying about the family, worrying, you can't really progress spiritually. You get stuck. So to remain light and remain an instrument.
So brother is practicing. So we are also today, as a token of love, he has come all the way for us, and we are so thankful to Baba and brother. So brother want to see self transformation in everyone, and most elevated self respect. So let us all practice self respect, and also, like brother, we will remain light in any situations. No worries, carefree emperors. So thank you so much, brother. Now I invite Brother Seelan and Brother Ganesh to share their experience with Brother Charlie Bhai, and also they express their gratitude towards brother. Thank you so much.
शिव पिता को अब याद करो, मुक्ति धाम तुम्हें जाना है। अपने कर्म के बल पर भी सतयुग में तुम करो। शिव पिता को अब याद करो। हे संगम का स्वर्णिम युग है, शिव पिता फिर से आया है। कलयुग का अंत अब आया है, विकराल विनाश खड़ा आगे। शिव पिता को अब याद करो। पांडव शिव शक्ति सेना की रणभेरी अब फिर बजती है। शिव पिता को अब याद करो, सखियों में तुमको आना है। शिव पिता को अब याद करो, मुक्ति धाम तुम्हें जाना है। अपने कर्मों के बल पर ही सतयुग में अब तुम्हें आना है। सतयुग में अब तुम्हें आना है।
Om Shanti. Thank you so much. For whom I can say thanks. Of course, Baba is the one who is doing everything, and how is a beautiful drama. From the beginning of Sri Lanka service, and with everything we achieved and everything happened, of course, Baba Dada blessing and our DDG's good feeling. She has so much good feeling. She don't talk too much, but still I feel the missing of Didi, because while she physically here and we all enjoy, she will scold also. Buddhu, what you like that, she will scold. We enjoy that also, her scolding also. So that much sustenance we all received, and her good feeling was sustaining us when Didi left without informing us. But he informed Charlie Bhai. So anyhow, what she did, she didn't just left us and go, no, without any, because even though she is detached, in my life I met most detached person is Didi, but most responsible person is Didi. Nobody like responsible like Didi. Each and everything is take care. So while she is leaving, I think she hand over her so many, like how Brahmavapa hand over everything to Prakash Mani Daddy, he given to Charlie Bhai. Not only the powers and these things, her face also she inherited to Charlie Bhai, no? Many, all of you see, no? Didi in his face? Yes. Everyone sees Didi's face and the sparkling of our DDG, sweet DDG. So that's why Baba not left us like that. And even though Baba want Didi to play another part to advance party, because Baba had to think many things, no, to establish golden age. So he taken away. Before that, we will get upset and fight with Baba, no. So that's why he nicely, secretly created Charlie Bhai equal to Didi and presented. It's a great opportunity. It's naturally happened. No, he's come here exactly in the perfectly in the drama, how he's come here. And this harmony house also Didi's good feeling. Her blessing is that. And so his DDG's photocopy is here. And so that's thank you so much for DDG and Baba to be present. And also when we wrote to Charlie Bhai, I expected this will be ready before January. Then I asked him to come on January. We will inaugurate this building, Harmony House. And Charlie Bhai, January, I have some other program. February, is it okay for me to come on February? I said, okay, now we will wait until, even though you will finish, and we will wait. But until January 31st, building is totally upside down, lot of dust and all the thing. As yesterday I shared with Santanivasis. And until he arrived here, this place is full of dust and everything, all the things. And while he is returning from Jaffna, I said, call Brother Ganesh and please come slowly. We are not ready. Because some said, no, such a senior, why you are bringing him to this dust place? Like we invited Ocean of Purity to this Iron Age, no? Same way you are invoking such an angel, powerful soul to this dust place and things. I said, I feel a little bit, I take it seriously also, because it is not nice to be here. Our respect and honor should be there, but a little bit selfish also. I don't mind of his difficulty. I want our comfort. And we are fully satisfied last 2 days and today. I was worrying about the hall is not fully decorated, fully completed, building is not completed. Now I felt the harmony was fully decorated, fully painted, fully everything is completed with the vibration of his sparkle. So it became beautiful. Thank you so much, Charlie Bhai. So, but it had to be maintained well, no? For that every year he had to come. That is not a request, it's an order. We have the, now we have the right over, even all of you know, when Didi sometimes say, no, I don't, this year I will not come. All BKs will go to Didi's room, Didi, you should come, Didi, you should come, everyone will tell. And they will fight with her. And I remember one Centavasi meeting, we were meeting, Didi said, no, next year I will not come. Everyone shouting, no, 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 you should, how you can. Didi said, no, there's my health, they will not allow, daddy will not allow. No, no, you should come. Because we will sometime very selfish to take this, we will not miss. So be careful. All Sri Lankan will come to Australia and take you. So every year you have to come. So we will have the same retreat and all the thing. So of course, Charlie Bhai felt during his visit how Sri Lankans bhavana towards Baba and DDG and all the thing. So he fulfill all our desires. Thank you so much. Now I call Brother Ganesh. Please share his words of.
Om Shanti. So good afternoon to everybody, especially for Brother Charlie. Charlie is like my friend, no? For many years, I've been encountering with him in Malaysia, in Australia, and also in Madhuban. So he is living the life of being lightness, like he was sharing just now. So in Hindi, they used to say, Ana Jana, no? It's come and go. So Charlie Bhai comes and goes many places, Madhuban, many countries. So he is playing that part. I remember once someone asked daddies, when you all are going, there will come a time who will do the next step, says. So daddy said, don't worry about it because they have prepared. They have prepared and they are incognito. As time goes by, they will play their part. And we can see how Didi has prepared. Not 1 year, 2 year, I think 30 something years, I cannot remember. 33.
We lived together 33, but worked together 47.
Worked together 47, but lived together 33. So you can see the preparation. And also I remembered how Daddy Junkie prepared Didi for coming to Gyan Sarovar. All prepared. So that is why we are so fortunate. Everything is pre-prepared. There's nothing is there to think too much about sustenance, but we give cooperation for sustenance. And that's why we can sustain each other. I remembered in Delhi, when we had a program for NCCCs, we had a photograph session. And during that photograph session, Daddy Junkie was there and we all, the NCs all here in ORC. So the photographer was taking some time to take the photograph, and then Daddy felt, oh, he's not ready. So she just looked out to all of us and she just said like this, very soon all of you have to take care of the whole world. I'm not sure you were there, maybe you were in another program. I think. She just mentioned that. And that was many years ago, before she left in 2020. So you can see everything is prepared. So from my observation, I notice Charlie Bhai has a very powerful relationship of sweetness and love, just like DDG. Both have the same very powerful virtue, but in a very different form in a level of relationship. So therefore, whether it is East, West, or whatever culture, they can take maximum benefit. So during this time when I was going tour with Charlie Bai, so this is what our aim is, to meet everybody, those who cannot go to Madhuban, those who have been to Madhuban, those who have been for many years, can't come into connection. So this is the way of meeting. And Charlie Bai keep telling everywhere we go, day by day, things are not so easy, but it is our task, no, to sustain one another. So that is why the subject on living a life, no, we are living with limitless love. And Baba's love, no, he has planted it. So I keep telling all the time here in Sri Lanka, all the three daddies have come, who played the role of, big program, mega programs, so many mega programs. And Daddy Gulza also came for the mega program. So we should feel very fortunate, that we have been sustained. Many places daddies have not been in India actually. Just not been. So just like Charlie Bai is now coming, he will be coming now to go to many places where he has not been. He will carry the experiences of daddies. Of all the places I've gone with him together, his very key point I notice is the experience with the daddies and Bab Dada, these two strong points. And whoever he is meeting, the relationship, the experience he shared, that carries the vibrational content. So wherever you go, you used to have that hand here and bow. So that's a feeling, whatever we think, to transfer it into feelings. And this is the strong point. Daddies have given it as a right, as an inheritance. So with this, I feel very fortunate to be with my friend, your friend also. So he's very friendly. And at the same time, I notice he is very, very disciplined in the timings to take maximum benefit to keep the mind and body busy, which also Didi was putting it into practice. So wherever I've been, to travel along with them, with DDG and also Charlie Bai, I noticed they have the similar sanskars, similar nature, which is inherited from Baba. So let us learn from each other and also progress. As you know, during this NCCC meeting, they will have a discussion of the sustenance part. We have sent also to everyone to give a survey. We want to do a survey. Last year they did a bit, this year also survey. How the sustenance should go from now onwards, which they will be analyzing, I think, in Madhuban, and plant sustenance. So with this, I thank Charlie Bai ji. Is Ana Jana coming and going? He's going to coming. So as per drama, he will come and go. How frequent? Baba, drama, seniors and Charlie Bai, they will make that arrangement. Because he's always coming and going from Australia to Madhuban 3 times or 2 times a year, right? So there is always a flow going. So let us see how the sustenance is going to be. So specifically, I would like to thank all of you also for giving your cooperation of being here and also to have a vision for Sri Lanka that so many are awaiting. So this time, I think Charlie Bai had a good experience of train traffic control. He's training his mind to have train traffic control, which I also had during Corona time. Because in Corona time, we were here, we could not go out much. So every time train travel, I was also practicing giving good wishes. For every time one train goes, about 1,000 people. So one day, 10,000 people go and come, morning and afternoon. So it's also a good way of using the mind, keeping busy. So thank you, Charlie Bai, for being with us and continuously be with us in Madhuban, wherever you are visiting. He's such a generous hearted person with is acquired from Daddy Janki and Didi. So we can learn a lot of things. So when new ones ask, we just, anytime visitors come, they carry the richness of Dadi's experiences, vibrational content and experience. So both are there. So we will not miss. We will never miss. Om Shanti. So now Charlie Bhai should say a few words.
As Ganesh Ganesh Bhai was saying, I actually, when Didi moved to India, it was 2009, and I was in Madhaban in Om Shanti Bhavan. Daddy Janki was giving a class. And she said at the end of the class, Charlie, I want to see you. Come to my room. So I went to her room and she just sat me down. She said, I want Dr. Nirmala to move to Gyan Sarovar. Is that okay with you? She asked my permission. And I said, well, Daddy, if you want her to come, of course. So did he move to Gyan Sarovar? But I just like to thank everyone from the heart, Ganesh Bhai, Seelan Bhai, everybody, all of you. It's been extremely lovely. And what I've enjoyed this time is, I think, getting to know a lot more of the divine family of Sri Lanka. I see you in Madhaban, but sometimes don't know where everyone's from. And as I've been saying, I think Sri Lanka is amazing. Outside of India and Nepal, it's the biggest Brahmin community in the world. That's amazing. I think you should be really proud of that. And it's a very heartfelt community, family. And I think it's a wonderful atmosphere you've created. And I just have so many feelings that Sri Lanka will absolutely flourish in Baba's service. So thank you from the heart to everybody. And yes, I'll see you again. I'm not sure when, but thank you so much, everyone. Om Shanti. Thank you.
Om Shanti. So as a token of appreciation, we are giving a little gift from the heart to Charlie Bhai.